Okay, so what the heck was going on in this chapter of Fairy Tale? Like, the white Dragneel? Like, this just in, we found the virgin report. Who's a virgin and who's not in Fairy Tale? Ready in 3, 2, 1. So we start off with Angel. Apparently she's gotten quite a bit of nice sack action. She's actually gotten a little wet here or there. Her body is kind of moist there. So Angel's definitely confirmed not a virgin, but Yukino or Yukina, I can't remember her name. She is definitely a virgin. Next up, Minerva. Apparently somebody has actually gotten a hold of the sweet, incredible goods of Minerva. They actually got the juices, bro. They got it in with Minerva. This is fucking crazy, bro, right now. Like, Minerva, her body is all hot. She's all moist. Like, yo, Minerva got it in the sheets. Like, confirmed. A character that I can't stand, but seemingly the man has got a plan because he's got it in as well. Rogue has actually got it in. Yes, people, we have confirmed. We have irrefutable factual evidence that Rogue has actually gotten in the sheets with at least one female, assuming it's not including some shit of him and Sting. Then several other of the Fairy Tale members have been confirmed as well. I mean, it's not necessarily confirmation when they have kids, so if they have a kid, or, you know, whatever the case may be as far as that goes, they're definitely already confirmed, so we don't really need that info. It's nice to get an extra addition and make sure, okay, yeah, they're both the parents, or, you know, Macau actually had Romeo and stuff like that, so we got confirmation that they're definitely the parents, but we didn't need confirmation on them getting it in, because it's kind of implied. And honestly, it looks like Fairy Tale was a band of some sexual deviants, because you see even 5, 6, 7 of the fodder members as well have got it in. Even members you would never think of, old men, women, like, it's just insane. Although we can confirm that Romeo is still a virgin, so the young whippersnapper hasn't sticked out his whipper yet. My boy, Loxus. Yo, you a real one, boy. I know you was going through them Fairy Tale chicks like no tomorrow, especially back in your dirty days. I know you had left and right. You were like, yo, you want to be a part of Fairy Tale? You need to get in these pants. The keys to Fairy Tale tattoos is in these pants. And that's why Loxus is slamming his head against the ground right now, baby. Something that really surprised me and is making me question what happened back in the day is Mavis. I did not expect that, because Mavis got that little lowly look going on. Zareth, you pedophile. Even though she was already old as shit, you still banged a woman that looks like she's 10 years old or younger. But it also kind of could explain some of the events of later on in the chapter. My boy Gildarts, you know, you don't even gotta ask. Like, this chapter didn't even need to happen to assume Gildarts was smacked. Like, yo, Gildarts was in the sheets with any bitch that he could get his hands on. So you didn't need this chapter, although it was pretty funny for Kana to see him there, like, all destroyed, which we have confirmation. Kana is still a virgin. The eagle has not landed in the nest yet. Yo, the Arashon Sace and Jalal, all of them, bro. All of them. Well, honestly, they look like they're knocked out more so than they're in pain. So I'm assuming we can't really tell completely if they're like being affected by this magic or not, because it looks like they were just absolutely destroyed by August. It looks like August just did them dirty, and I like that one of the Spriggan is actually living up to the legend or the tale of, yo, these are some real deals. So the foreshadowing of August at least has been legit. We have more confirmation. Apparently, Erza Scarlet is still indeed a virgin, which shows that potentially she could have some insecurities if she finds out what Lacarde's true power is, because if she sees that Jalal might have been affected, or questions that Jalal might have been affected, then she might think, this is a man with experience. This is a man that's been through it all. I got no experience. So Erza being unaffected, two things. Either A, it's because she's 100% a virgin, or B, she just doesn't remember it because she's Erza. We also have confirmation that Wendy's cat is indeed a virgin. Happy has not slipped it in yet. And I guess while we're at it, Wendy didn't get it, but I don't even want to talk about that because that's some creepy shit. Although you gotta think for a second. Hold on. Hold the phone. I just thought of something. Assuming that Eileen, whatever the fuck her real name is, how do you pronounce it? I guess I've seen the official translations as Irene. So, assuming Irene is Erza's future self, we have confirmation that at some point in the future, Heirs of Scarlet, assuming she is indeed Irene, will be getting hit in the sheets. And with all that being said, honestly, you see towards the end of the chapter that he is bowing his head in disgrace and holding his head with his hand. I'm talking about the man, Zeref. You can see he's so ashamed of this power that this guy is using, the White Dragneel. He's like, please stop this at once. And honestly, what I take from it, my interpretation of, their relationship at the very least, which, again, spoiler alert, so we all are on the same page as to what I'm referring to, that the White Dragneel is indeed seemingly Zeref's son. Now, there's a couple things. For starters, again, I feel as though their relationship is kind of something that anyone can relate to as far as with their parents. If you have parents or whatever, the young child rebelling against the old person, like Zeref's cool as fuck, but you look at his son and he's, using powers that are stupid as shit and weird as shit. And I know there's a lot of people that are actually disappointed with the White Dragneel's powers. Essentially, it's kind of funny, but when you think about it, he's affecting the people that have had pleasure, and then seemingly towards the end of the chapter, if you haven't experienced pleasure, it looks like the motherfucker's just raping people. Like, he's not actually raping people, but essentially he's making their pleasure go up, which is insane. So, first of all, you can look at the relationship as far as Zeref and the White Dragneel, again, as a child that rebels against the father in certain degrees, as far as, like, my powers aren't going to be like, yo, you're all into that chaos and crazy death bullshit. I'm going to make people feel good, boy. But also, Mavis was affected by this, and with Zeref putting his head down, Zeref was obviously affected, that's his son. So right off the bat, we can assume, based on the revelation that we got at the end of the chapter, that the White Dragneel of Zeref's son, that is not just a biological creation. He's actually at pleasure. But then again, we're not exactly sure what level of pleasure. I mean, it looked as though, to be honest with you, with the chapter, that anybody that is not a virgin was affected by the White Dragneel's power. It really is a perverted chapter, to be honest with you. So Zeref looking like he might have been affected by it, and Mavis, like, is it a possibility that Zeref and Mavis got it on? Unless Zeref pounded some other chick on the side or something like that. Because if you didn't get this chapter, you would automatically assume, okay, the White Dragneel, yeah, he's probably biologically engineered or something like that. But the fact that it looks like Zeref is being affected by it, the fact that Mavis was affected by it, maybe there was some type of fetus that was inside of Mavis when she died, which, again, Zeref, it's fucking weird. Mavis looks like a little girl, but whatever the case may be, that could have been an option. It could be another woman, or it could have very well be that they did bang at some given point, but that has no bearing on him using, DNA to create the White Dragneel. So there's a couple different options. Either way, it's really interesting. I really like the ending. As far as the revelation of Zeref and the White Dragneel's connection, I thought that was pretty cool, because a lot of us were assuming the White Dragneel, he's probably just, a relative or maybe a distant cousin, somebody from the past. But to see that that's actually Zeref's son, it almost goes into Zeref's character real quick, because let's just really quickly talk about Zeref's character. Zeref's character, up until this point, you can see that one of the things is he desperately wants to feel loved. He wants to have that type of bond that he had with Mavis. He had a really nice thing going with Mavis, and when he lost Natsu, that was the first time he felt the hurt. Then he lost Mavis, that was again. So I think him creating Lakade, whether it be that it was natural, whether it be that he took DNA from Mavis and him and Mavis's DNA is what created it, whatever the case may be, that's once again, I feel, Zeref's attempt at trying to create this love, this bond, and this family that he's been trying to have all this time, ever since he lost Natsu as a kid. So that's something going into the psyche, I guess, of Zeref, as deep as probably I'm overthinking it or whatever, but I think that that's why he would create something like that, a child, because he wants that love again. But it looks like Lakade, whenever he was created or born or whatever the case may be, he's probably not what Zeref necessarily wanted, because even though he's like this monk-loving peace or whatever, bliss and, feeling great, but he's kind of weird with the perverse shit. And then towards the end of the chapter, no lie, it did look like some hentai shit. It looked like there's vines or something. I don't even know if it's smoke or whatever. And all these people that actually weren't, pounded before, looked like they're feeling the same pleasure that the people that have been pounded felt. So his power definitely, it's weird, it's funny, but it is effective, you gotta admit, because everybody's on the ground. You got Loxus smashing his fucking head. He's smashing his head as many times as he smashed bitches in fucking Fairy Tail. So the dude, his head must be pouring blood right now. Hold the phone, people. This just in. We found out, indeed, confirmation that Kagura is a virgin as well. But yeah, with all that being said, to be honest with you, I think there is no really reason to rage. It could be disappointing as far as Lakade or, the White Dragneel's powers are concerned, but the revelation we got, got with his connection with Zeref, I think was very great as far as advancing it and making the character even more interesting. Power's a little wacky and zany or whatever, but that's fairy tale, and honestly I felt it was, for what it was worth, a good chapter, even though yeah, it was very perverse and the way it was, going about with the power was ridiculous, but nonetheless it was still a good chapter, and I felt as though the reveal at the end of the chapter was the best part. So I'm still gonna say a 7 out of 10. If it wasn't for it being so wacky and perverse and stuff like that, probably would have been a lot higher, because that is a huge revelation regarding Lucade and Zeref's connection. Well, let me know what you guys think. First of all, did you hate the powers that the White Dragneel used? Did you like it? Did you think it was funny? Also, what do you think about the connection with Zeref? Who is his mom? Was he biologically created and, engineered? And your overall thoughts of the chapter. Did you hate it? Did you love it? Again, I mean, I felt it was a decent chapter, good chapter. Again, it was wacky, but it is what it is. It's fairy tale. And your overall thoughts. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Because a lot of people in this chapter had many awesome days.